very pleasant good evening, everybody. Welcome once again to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. We welcome you to Arrow Arena in Ashland, Ohio, for boys varsity action. It's an OCC matchup between the visiting New Philadelphia Quakers and the Ashland Arrows. David Wilson alongside Hayden Chandler and Brandon Gunder. We welcome you back to continuing coverage of this 25-26 season that has been so successful for both the girls and boys teams so far. Ashland 10-6 overall, 9-2 in OCC action, holding down first place. They've been excellent at home at 6-1. New Philadelphia 11-5. They are 6-4 in conference play. They have held their own on the road at 4-4. Jason Hess, the head coach of the Arrows. Zach Ross, the head man of the Quakers. Tonight's game is also brought to you by Hedstrom Entertainment, having unplugged fun for over 100 years. And this is, of course, the countdown to tip-off, brought to you by Simonson Construction Services, serving Ashland and North Central Ohio for over 50 years. Well, Hayden Chandler, we are set for New Philadelphia, but I think we could spend our entire broadcast recapping that incredible 97-93 triple overtime victory for the Arrows at Mansfield Senior on Tuesday night. I listened to the entire game with Aaron Hines on the call on our iHeart colleagues, but you were there in person covering the game. It has to be one of the best, most exciting victories in Arrows history.
Yeah, I'm getting chills as you're just talking about it. I mean, I have been riding off a high for the last couple of days from that contest. That was one of the most impressive games I've seen from both teams. I mean, the Arrows jumped out to a big lead, 20-9 after a quarter of play. Mansfield Senior took a 5-point lead into the half. And then ever since we returned from the break, it just went back and forth between the two teams, never getting larger than a 5-point lead for Senior High, who was pretty much in control for most of the second half, and then Ashland clawed back a little bit. But even in the overtime periods, it just went back and forth the whole time. The first overtime, it was a Gabe Bay 3, it was a Kaylin Brooks 3, it was a Garrett Davis 3, it was a Paxton Edgar 3. Like, everyone for the Arrows stepped up when it mattered most, but at the same time, they stayed in it mentally. They didn't get too ahead of themselves. And then, obviously, the shot heard around the area was Paxton Edgar's three-pointer as time expired in the first overtime. 73-70 was the score. Ashland had the ball with 5.6 seconds left after a Mansfield Senior foul on the same possession. They were inbounding the basketball, and then Paxton Edgar lost the ball, got it back, fading away into the Mansfield Senior student section, hucked up a three. You can argue that he was fouled. It looked like he was fouled in the video, but nonetheless, the shot went down and everyone went nuts. The Mansfield Senior fans were losing it. The Ashland fans were losing it. It was just incredible. Then we had a second overtime where Gabe Baith continued to shine. He hit 7 3-pointers on Tuesday night against Senior High. He scored 31 points in that game. He went off. Paxton Edgar had 38, and he made his 12 of his last 12 free throw attempts. So it was remarkable what the Arrows did down the stretch. So, I mean, it was just an incredible game where they just outperformed Mansfield Senior. They wanted it more. And the big storyline of that game was Ashland out-rebounding Mansfield Senior 41-27. So a phenomenal effort all around by the Arrows on Tuesday night.
Well, it all added up to their third straight win. They've picked up 6 out of their last 7. They're in control of the conference right now. And we'll go to those conference standings, brought to you by Whitaker Myers, providing solutions for your insurance, benefits, and wealth management needs since 1869, with offices in Ashland and Worcester. Ashland now a half game up on Dover, who had a weather cancellation earlier, so they have a game in hand. But they're 8-2, a half game back going into play tonight. Senior, with that setback, now 7-4. So they're 2 games off the pace. New Philadelphia comes in at 4th in the OCC at 6-4. Then Worcester, Madison, Lexington, West Holmes, all in the lower division. So Ashland and Dover still neck and neck. Tonight they are at Madison for a game. West Holmes is at Lexington. Senior travels to Worcester. Worcester knocked off New Philadelphia on Tuesday night, 55-51. So that will not be a sure thing for Senior as they will go on the road. Of course, here our game, Ashland versus New Philly. This is the Countdown to Tip-Off show brought to you by Simonson Construction Services. We'll continue our pregame show coming up in just a moment.
And just a reminder, folks, we're coming to you all season long from the Priest Dental Broadcasting booth. Priest Dental, your hometown dental leader. Proud AHS alum Kevin Priest and his team will handle all your dental needs. And just real quick, one comment on the OCC race. It's impressive that Worcester has knocked off New Philadelphia twice, because New Philadelphia is having a great year at 11-5. A very important game for the Arrows that they won't be playing in the OCC race is coming on February 6th when Senior High travels to Dover. So eyes will certainly be on that one, but the Arrows with a half-game lead looking to take care of business here tonight against the Quakers.
A lot can still happen, but it's never a bad place to be if you are in first or tied for first, and that's what the Arrows are enjoying right now. We'll continue our pregame show in just a moment. Looking forward to this one between the Quakers and the Arrows on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network.
Ashland isn't just where we work. It's our home. From glorious country to Main Street parades, we're proud to be part of what makes this town special. At Bill Harris Dealerships, being a key member of the community is one of our core values. But it's more than that. It's a responsibility. Because without Ashland, without you, we wouldn't be here. So stay golden, Ashland. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
New Philadelphia and Ashland here at Arrow Arena tonight. Coming up a little bit later on at halftime, Aiden will be visiting with State Representative Melanie Miller. That interview will be brought to you by Whitcomb and Hess. They have all your needs covered. Plan, grow, and thrive. Financial advisors and CPAs will help you grow your business and investments. Also, this reminder, fans, that the official watch location for Arrows Athletics is the South Street Grill. If you aren't able to attend in person, South Street will carry Arrow basketball all season long in the lower level bar area. Ashland 10-6, 9-2 in the league, 6-1 at home, taking on New Philadelphia. They had a 3-game winning streak snapped in their loss against Worcester on Tuesday night. They got down 21-5 in that game, could not fight their way back. They were cold from three-point range. But the key thing to remember in this matchup, Aiden, is that back on the 2nd of January, New Philadelphia hosted Ashland and dealt the Arrows potentially their worst loss of the season, 63-37.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This New Philadelphia team just matches up really well with the Arrows. They've got a few big men, 6'5" and 6'6" in their starting lineup, which we'll get here as we approach tip-off. But they match up really well with this Ashland team, and they play physical basketball, and that's the reason they were able to dominate the Arrows. Now the Arrows didn't have a great performance in that contest, shooting about 28% from the field, which is never going to be good offensively, and then near 20 turnovers as well. So definitely didn't perform their best in that contest, but as you said it, New Philly handing Ashland their worst loss of the season. So hopefully Ashland, who's played really well here at home, can feed off the energy from this crowd and can really bring it tonight and take it to New Philly like we saw them take it to Dover just a few weeks ago.
Ashland averages 66 points a game. They give up on average 62. Now that average defensively has been dinged a little bit with those losses to Massillon and to Mansfield, both giving up in excess of 90 in those games. New Philly, they don't score at the same pace as the Arrows, Aiden, 53 a game, but defensively they only give up 41 a night.
Yeah, they're a really stout defensive team led by Zach Ross, and they always have been ever since their inception. into the OCC. You mentioned back to Ashland. We talked about how they've won 6 of their last 7. The only loss came to Ashland, the number 3 ranked team in the state. So it's pretty remarkable the run that this Ashland team is on. New Philly, they like to play fast. Yes, their offensive average for points in a game is 53. They only allow 41, but they really like to get out and run in transition, and they're not a traditional team where they'll outlet it to like a point guard like we will outlet it to Pax or Gabe. They like to outlet it to whoever's open and just run the floor. So they do a very good job of that. They do like to run through their sets offensively, and they will wear you out defensively by doing that on the offensive end. But again, I mean, just a stout defensive team. They really compete in this conference. They fit well in this conference. They're a very similar look to what you see in Dover. So we'll see how the Arrows fare tonight. But again, playing really well on their home floor, 6-1 here in Arrow Arena.
Leading scorer for the Quakers, Reed Wells. He is a senior guard, 11 a game. And he also dishes it out, 44 assists and only 11 turnovers on the year. So he's a very efficient basketball player. He wears number 4 for New Philly. And of course, on the Arrow side, it all boils down to Pax Ediger and Gabe Baith. Those two went off on Tuesday night. Ediger with 38, Baith with 31. We're back on 1,000-point watch, Aiden, with Gabe Baith at 9:47 going into play tonight. So likely not going to pump in 53. Not impossible.
He could.
But looking at potentially the next couple of games, he could get there and join Ediger in the 1,000-point club.
Yeah, I mean, that would be incredible to have 2 people in the same class do it, and that's what the OCC is excited for, is for those 2 to graduate and stop wearing the orange and black, because they are potent on the offensive end. I mean, Gabe, he could go for 53. He exploded for a lot of points there in the second half in the overtime period. He had 7 3-pointers in that game against Senior High, 12 of 21 from the field, 31 points. I mean, he's just on a remarkable run offensively, and he started very slow, and I talked about that a lot when we do these boys games together, is how slow Ashland would start the games offensively. Gabe also having an extended football season with a run into the playoffs, didn't get into the gym as soon as he'd wanted to, so lacking that confidence, not starting off well. It's really cool to see how Gabe has turned a new leaf and gained some more confidence and started to pour in some good offensive performances.
All right, this is the Simonson Construction Countdown to tip-off. We are almost there, folks. Stay with us. We'll come back. We'll get you set for the starting lineups, the keys to the game, the injury report, the anthem. It's all coming up. Ashland and New Philly right here on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
national anthem presented by Chandler Systems, Inc., locally owned and operated right here in Ashland, Ohio for over 40 years. The Arrows and Quakers. A few things to get to yet before the tip. Aiden, let's check that injury report.
Yeah, tonight's injury report brought to you by Fickus Furniture. No need for the big box stores. Fickus Furniture has your needs covered. New Philly. Healthy roster, and unfortunately Ashland has an injury. We have an injury report to report tonight. Killian O'Brien is out for the season, breaking his foot a few contests ago. Unfortunately, he will miss track as well. So getting healthy and getting ready for football season next fall.
Yeah, that is a big blow for the Arrows, but certainly a feel for the young man who, he decided to come out and play some basketball and making such an impact off the bench. But he is here and will continue to cheer on his teammates. Let's check those lineups. They're brought to you by Truly Inspired Paper Company for all of your paper needs, from wedding invitations to business cards and everything in between. Truly Inspired Paper Company in Ashland and Loudonville for New Philly. Isaac Roman Willie will start at a forward spot. He's 6'2" and a senior. Reed Wells, 5'8". He's a senior, averaging 11 a game. T.R. Harriman is a junior guard. He stands 5'10", has a team-high 45 assists. Jackson Martini, 6'5", a sophomore. He plays inside. And Aiden Mushrush, a 6'6" senior, 8 points, 5 rebounds a game, a team-high 85 boards on the year. Roman Willie, Wells, Harriman, Martini, and Mushrush for the Quakers. Ashland's Jason Hess will run out his familiar starting five of Gunnar Lacey, the 5'11" senior guard. Gabe Baith, 5'8", also a senior, averaging 15 a game. Reed Emmons at a forward spot, 6'3", he's a senior. He pumped in 11 against Mansfield Senior and finished just short of a double-double with 9 boards. Garrett Davis, 6'1", he's a junior forward. He came alive and scored 15 against Senior. And of course, Pax Ediger, the 6-foot senior sharpshooter, 23 points, 5 rebounds a game. He sits at 11.48 in his career, 4th all-time at Ashland High School. Lacey, Baith, Emmons, Davis, and Ediger, the starters. All brought to you by Truly Inspired Paper Company. Aiden, let's get to those keys to the game. What do you think?
Tonight's keys to the games are brought to you by your hometown vision leader, Ashland Eye Care. Proud AHS alum Dan Dembo will handle all your vision needs. First, for the visiting New Philadelphia Quakers who look to knock Ashland off the top spot of the OCC standings. First, they got to defend the perimeter. Ashland has been shooting the 3 ball really well. They're going to have to take them off of the 3-point line. Secondly, dominate in the paint. They outsize the Arrows. They've got to take advantage of that in the paint tonight. And lastly, rebounds and runouts. Grab rebounds, run out, get in transition, score points that way. For the Arrows who are looking to stay atop the conference standings, make shots. They were 28% last time, and their 63-37 loss, 20 turnovers in that game. Defensively, no easy baskets, stay physical and stay out of foul trouble. And lastly, knock down free throws when it matters. The Arrows shoot 81% from the free throw line. Pax hit 12 in a row in triple overtime. Tonight's officials brought to you by your hometown barbershop, 419 Barbershop in downtown Ashland. Matt and his team have all your needs covered. Mark Hillis, Mark Novak, and Stephen Ewanak.
There's the tip, taken by the Arrows. It's brought to you by Linway Restaurant, quality food and fine service since 1951. And away we go in this Friday night varsity game between the Arrows and the Quakers. Lacey sets a screen, Baith, Davis, and now the first touch for Ediger, spinning around, fading away, not there, and the rebound to Roman Willie. And the Quakers push the tempo. That went off the mark by Martini, and a rebound pulled down by Garrett Davis.
I mentioned how the Quakers like to get out and run when they get rebounds on the defensive side.
Yeah, you were exactly right there. Case in point. Ediger, right wing. Scored 38 against Mansfield Senior in that classic on Tuesday. Baith has to save it in bounds, but throws it away. Turnover, Ashland. This is Wells giving it up to Mushrush. Harriman trailing the play, shoots the 3, not there. Get it down low, that is Martini who misses. Emmons clears for Ashland. They throw it away down the left sideline.
An errant pass there by Garrett Davis. Garrett Davis had a costly turnover in the senior high game. He threw it to a senior high player who had a three-pointer right before the buzzer sounded to end the first half. So got to be smarter with the basketball. Can't turn it over, especially in a game where possessions are going to be so critical tonight.
First quarter brought to you by Comfort Control, providing the best comfort for residential and commercial customers for more than 40 years. The Arrows break up a play down low. Quakers will have it on a baseline inbound. Just getting warmed up.
Yeah, you can see Aiden Mushrush definitely outsizing Gunnar Lacey, who will be guarding him tonight.
With the ball now to Martini. Jackson Martini used up the dribble. Arrows in the man-to-man. Roman Willie puts it on the floor. New Philly in the dark uniforms. Ashland in their home whites. Little bully ball there by Roman Willie. Misses the shot. Tipped it back to a teammate. Three ball no. And the rebound to Davis. They knock it away. Turnover in transition. Third of the game.
Got to be a bounce pass there by Pax. You know New Philly's going to have their hands in the passing lane tonight.
No one has scored first 2 minutes. T.R. Harriman puts it over to Wells, their leading scorer. New Philly pretty patient right now. Wells for three, and he knocks it in. That's the way the scoring begins in New Philly's favor.
They're patient, and they get a good look. A wide open three-pointer who Reed Wells able to knock it down, a 43% three-point shooter on the season.
Davis uses up the dribble. Ediger. He attacks the man-to-man. Davis. And now back to Pax, who's averaging 23 a game. Driving all the way to the hoop. Left-hand layup down the hatch for Pax Ediger. 3-2. Ashland on the board, and they'll show that full court press.
For sure. It worked really well in that senior high game to speed up senior, and they'll bring it back out tonight. One thing I was thinking about during that Arrow possession is the last time the Arrows played New Philly, they came off an emotional win.
That's Mushrush, who got low underneath his first two.
They had beaten Mansfield Senior and Lexington here at home, and then went to New Philly and got smoked.
Nice take by Davis. It'll be the first foul of the game. 2 shots are coming up. Again, Isaac Roman Willie, who scored 2 in their game against Worcester. That's his first. Davis to the line, 91% from the stripe. It's the Connery Manufacturing free throw line. First up and good.
And I bring that up because I'm very interested to see how the Arrows respond after such an emotional, long game at Mansfield Senior. The starting lineup got a lot of time on the floor, so we'll see how they come out tonight. And only 2 players shot free throws for the Arrows in that game at Mansfield Senior. Paxton Ediger, and then Ty Bates went to the line 1 time.
A lot of statistical anomalies in that game, to say the least. 5-4, block shot down low. It was either Emmons or Lacey. They managed to swat it away. We're going to see our Sarver Paving replay.
It's like Emmons.
They both went after it.
If it was Emmons, he now leads the blocks department with 9 this season for the Arrows.
Quinn Miller is in the game for New Philly. Miller, a senior forward, is checked in. So the Suds substitutions have commenced. 4:18 to go. First quarter, 5-4 Quakers. Mushrush with a screen on the perimeter. Wells gives it up. This is Lincoln Murphy, also went off the bench, got knocked over. And he earns 3 trips to the foul line. They'll get Gabe Baith on the foul, his first. We see it again right there in the corner, right in front of Jason Hess.
New Philly, a 67% free throw shooting team.
Lincoln Murphy, not a good free throw shooter at 43%, but he hits that to make it 6-4. He came off the bench Tuesday, Aiden, in a game where they were really struggling, and poured in 14 points and grabbed 7 rebounds.
That's how New Philly, it's a different person each night, and they're very unselfish. They're an unselfish team. I mean, they don't score a lot of points, but they love to share the rock and just get the open shot, and whoever's open is going to shoot it.
Well, Murphy nailed all three, 8-4. Bates shovels it. Ediger. Davis for three. Little short. Rebound comes down to Jackson Martini. Martini's shut off by Emmons. Gives it up to Mushrush. And he throws it away. Now they say it was...
I think the near side official is going to say something to the ref there.
I think it's going to go to Ashland here. It indeed is changed. That'll be the first turnover. By the way, New Philly won the JV game. It's pretty entertaining, 54-46.
Yeah, the Arrows actually made it close there right out of the break. It was a three-point game in the third quarter, but New Philly prevailing.
Bates in the game for Ashland. Ediger works in one-on-one against Wells and gets bumped from behind. That'll be Wells first. 3:25 to go here in the first quarter. This has filled in pretty well tonight, Aiden.
Oh yeah, we got the Youth Sweeties program, so we'll have some halftime entertainment with that. So a lot of parents filling in for that.
Bates on the left side, got to the block, shoots and misses. He'll go to the line for a couple of shots. Hey, that's Wells' second foul. That'll get Zach Ross looking at his bench, and I think T.R. Harriman's going to come back in, probably replace Wells. That's a big blow for New Philly. And Bates at the Connery Manufacturing free throw line. 8-5. Bates a 70%er.
Yeah, Coach Ross going to keep Wells in the game. He's a good ball handler and a facilitator. He likes to drive to create shots. So, you know, I know Coach Hess is going to tell us guys, take it at him, get him his third foul, and make Coach Ross pay for keeping him in the game.
This is Miller on the attack. Murphy trailing. Harriman, who came in, I believe, for Martini. Ashland still in the man-to-man. Wells with 2 fouls, guarded by Davis. 2-point game at the moment, and a foul called by the official under the bucket. They're going to get Davis. All right, so that's his first. Team foul number 2. Quinn Miller to trigger the play. Miller gets into the paint, jump stop, should have shot it, got the loose ball. Murphy, Harriman. Get it to Mushrush, immediate double team. Let's see if that goes against Emmons. Nope, they got Bates. 2:35 on the clock.
Arrow's got to be smart here with Killian O'Brien out. I mean, only 1 foul for a few players, but can't get in foul trouble with one of your key players out for the season.
Good defense by Bates. Miller back up to Wells. They spread the floor. 2 and change to go here in the first. Teams are still kind of feeling each other out here at the outset. Good defense by the Arrows. Mushrush, 12-footer, not there. Reed Emmons with the long rebound. Arrows want to move it. Ediger looks for a wide open Emmons. There it goes. Short. Rebound tipped out. Grabbed by Emmons. So he ended up getting his own miss. Ediger way too strong. Davis leaps for the rebound but cannot finish. Davis with his 3rd board, but the Arrows walk away empty-handed there.
Yeah, good effort on the offensive side. Good effort by Emmons and Davis to get 2 offensive rebounds. And Reed Emmons had a good rebounding night against Senior High.
Bates, his first board off the 3-point miss.
Emmons pulled in 9 rebounds on Tuesday night. Need him to play to his size. He's the tallest Arrow on the floor.
NBA 3 off the glass. And the rebound pulled down by Harriman, so Bates a little off the mark there.
The Arrows are settling on offense. They need to get into their offense, run some motion, and get some guys open.
Pass jammed down low to Mushrush. Give Harriman the assist. And Mushrush has 4 points, 10-6. 4-point lead for the Quakers. They're on the road facing the Arrows. Glad to have you with us tonight for Arrows basketball. Emmons, corner pocket three, in and out.
Got to take the lid off the basket. Arrows yet to knock down a three here in this contest. In fact, 4 of their 6 points coming from the free throw line.
By contrast, they knocked down 14 threes against Senior.
Over 50% in that contest.
25 seconds left. Zach Ross says, let's play for one. Arrows will force the action. Reed Wells, 2 fouls here in the first quarter. That's really the big story for New Philly so far. 4-point game. Arrows trying to keep it that way. 5 to go. Harriman lobs it. Mushrush down low with the finish. He has half a dozen, and that'll do it for the first quarter. New Philadelphia, very patient possession. They walk away with a 6-point lead. We'll get second quarter play-by-play going when we come right back in a flash on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving.
Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Your presentation will begin shortly. Welcome to the Ashland Arrows.
Underway here, second quarter. 12-6. There's a steal right off the bat here as we start quarter two. Garrett Davis with the takeaway. 12-6 New Philly. Gabe Baith underneath. Flips it up. No, got his own miss though. Davis for 3 off the mark. Long rebound to Roman Willie.
Still searching for that first three-pointer. Only 1 turnover for New Philadelphia in the first quarter. Have 1 early on here in the second quarter, almost another right there.
They've got Parker Rieger in. A Sid Sud substitution between quarters. Roman Willie has it down low, runs into Emmons. Throws it up, lost it. Emmons comes up with the ball. This is Ediger. Gets fouled, he'll go to the line. 2 shots on a aggressive drive to the basket. That will go against Harriman. Did you have that last play as a shot and a rebound or a turnover?
Shot and a rebound.
All right.
I would think. Looked like he went up with that. Pax only 2 quarters, or 2 points in that first quarter.
Yeah, no one for the Arrows with more than 2. Connery Manufacturing free throw line. The shot is good.
Got a substitution. Aiden Mushrush checking back into the game here for the Quakers.
And just a little extra rest. He had 6 points. 12-7, shot good. Ediger has 4 points.
I'm going to say it early, and you folks watching can just keep track of this. Paxton Ediger's made his last 14 free throws for Ashland.
He hit some clutch foul shots down the stretch to seal that win at Mansfield Senior on Tuesday. Murphy gets it to Harriman. Wells on the bench right now, it's worth mentioning. 4-point game, New Philly with the lead and the ball, second quarter. Mushrush pushes off against Ediger, no call on the contact, and then got fouled on the way up. So get Pax on the foul. Aiden Mushrush, the 6'6 senior, an 82% foul shooter. Shot up and good by Mush Rush, so he has 7. Has a brother on the team as well, Harper. Knocks down both. He's having a nice night. 8 points.
Yeah, he's already at his season average.
6-point lead. Away from the ball. Was that called away from the ball, or they got Jackson Martini on a foul. It's his first, team foul number 2. Ediger backs down. Throws it out to Emmons. Baith throws it away. 4th turnover against Ashland. Good steal by Lincoln Murphy. Corner 3, in and out. Gunnar Lacey, the defensive board. Here come the Arrows. Ediger forces the action, misses it off the glass. Mush Rush, the outlet pass. Harriman works through traffic and says, let's set it up.
Yeah, very sluggish offensive start for both teams here, honestly. Ashland, 8 points. We're about 3 minutes through the second quarter.
On 3 ball, not there by Jackson Martini. Davis, another rebound. I've got that for 4. Ediger thought about driving baseline, flips a nice pass to Emmons. He's pushed around by Rieger. Ediger got bumped in the head. They got Murphy on the foul. That's his first. I think the Arrows would have preferred no whistle on that. I think Pax would have gotten to the rim.
For sure. And it allows New Philly to set back up in their defense, get those tall post players down in the paint and try and defend and stop the Arrows from scoring.
They've got an illegal screen on Reed Emmons and a turnover.
It's a little weak, but Reed Emmons pleading his case with the official there. Nonetheless, got to play defense.
Crowd a little pensive right now. They have not had a whole lot to get excited about. Bad pass in the backcourt. Harriman throws it across to Miller. That's Mush Rush. Help actually make it Martini on an aggressive drive on the baseline and got fouled. That's Lacey.
I don't hate it. Make Martini earn it at the free throw line. He's shooting 64% on the season from the line.
Well, with Martini and Mush Rush in there, New Philly has some pretty imposing size. You also have Miller in there at 6'2". 14-8.
And Ashland's tallest player on the floor is 6'3", Reed Emmons.
Missed them both, and it's Mush Rush, but had it stolen away. Davis came up with the ball.
Emmons did a nice job of getting his hands in there.
Ediger, a long 3, made it. That was almost blocked by Murphy. B&C Car Care 3-pointer for Ediger, his first of the night. He has 7.
Could it be the spark the Arrows need on offense?
That's Miller off the glass. Baith finds Emmons, and he gets hand checked. Fouls are mounting. That'll be team foul number 4. They got Martini on the foul. So Ediger, the first 3 of the night. All the 3s brought to you by BB&C Car Care. Don't walk, keep your car running smoothly with regular oil changes at BB&C Car Care.
Sid Sudd's substitution here for the Arrows. Ty Bates checks in, and for New Philly, it's Parker Rieger.
There's Ediger. That patented drive to the left side. He has 9 points.
Does such a great job of finishing around the rim, and it's so hard to stop.
That's Quinn Miller. He just weaved right through traffic, laid it up and in. At the other end, it's Bates.
Great move there by Ty Bates to pump fake, get the defender to flow by him and finish. Fly by him, excuse me, and finish with the right hand.
Now the offenses are heating up a little bit here, Aiden.
You see New Philly start to get a little quicker on the offensive end.
Zach Ross asked for a 30-second timeout. Timeout's brought to you by Connery Manufacturing for your pump system needs. We have 3:45 to go here in the second quarter. Representative Melody Miller coming up at halftime. She'll be visiting with Aiden. So we hope you'll stay tuned for that report. There's the student section.
How fitting that we have a USA theme tonight from them, and we got
very nice
Melanie Miller joining us.
Checking that Simonson Construction Services scoreboard. 18-15. New Philly leading by 3.
We're 9-6 here in the second quarter. Ashland narrowing that New Philly lead. Got to have a stout performance here on defense the rest of the quarter.
Quakers have led throughout. This game has not been tied. It is Quakers ball. Zach Ross in his 4th season as the head coach. Arrows go to the 2-3 zone. And the Quakers just spread it out the 4 corners. Mush rush on the baseline. Rieger gets it to Harriman. Wells on the bench right now with 2 fouls.
Watch a slip here on offense. I like to run this box offense and then run a slip screen.
Skip pass for Miller, misses the 3. Baith grabs the rebound. Emmons trying to tie it. Does. From the corner, Reed Emmons ties this game at 18 apiece.
Nice job there by Reed Emmons, and once he gets going, it's hard to stop. He had no points in that first half against Senior High, but had 11 by the time it was all said and done, knocked down a few big 3-pointers.
44% three-point shooter, a BB&C Car Care three-pointer. All tied at 18. They'll swing it left side, Murphy. It's into the paint, kicks it out. Rieger for 3, missed it long, and Baith with good position. Had it stripped away from behind and stolen away, and Mush Rush scores. So Baith with the turnover there, and now it's almost thrown away. Bates has it, he got knocked over. Mush Rush now with 10. It's 20-18. We see the scramble here on our Sarver Paving replay. And they got Aiden Mush Rush on the foul. So that's 5 team fouls. They're over the limit. Bates at the line. He's 1 for 2 on the year. And that one falls off. Second shot not there. The rebound for Mush Rush. So he grabs another board. He's having a nice first half. 10 points, 4 rebounds. Hand check foul against Reed Emmons. That'll be his second foul, and that is number 4 on the Arrows. Our second quarter play-by-play brought to you by Comfort Control.
That's such a tic-tac foul there, but Reed's got to be smarter than that on defense. No reason to pick up a foul like that with 2 minutes left in the first half.
Right in front of the official. Roman Willie back in. He's got it in the paint. The kick out. Quinn Miller a 3, missed it. Long rebound, up for grabs, and Miller has it, takes it into the glass, and gets fouled from behind by Ty Bates, who took a swipe at the basketball. That's number 3 in the rebounding department for Quinn Miller, and he goes to the line for 2 shots, and both teams over the limit now.
Yeah, the Arrows are doing a much better job here defensively and slowing down New Philly, but these silly fouls are leading to free throws for New Philly, and they're making the Arrows pay.
So after the Arrows tied it at 18, Quakers have run off 3 straight. Miller trying to make it 4, and he does. So he's got 6 now.
And they're 7 of 9 from the free throw line here in the first half. Very good performance for a team that came in shooting 67%.
Ediger loses it on the way up. Mush Rush grabs another rebound. Quakers up by 4. They have the ball. Under 90 to play here in the first half. Friday night action from Arrow Arena here on the Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. Nice job, Ediger knocking the ball away. It'll stay in the possession of the Quakers.
And the Arrows are going to have to find a way to keep Aiden Mushrush off the glass. He's got 4 rebounds and dominating offensively with 10 points here, leading all scorers.
He has been the big factor this evening for New Philadelphia, no question about that. He's a handful inside. Arrows did go to the zone briefly. Murphy almost walked. Roman Willie to Quinn Miller. Stops on a dime. Harriman wide open for 3 and missed it short. Rebound to Roman Willie, his 3rd. Corner 3, got it. Count it for Lincoln Murphy, 6 points.
Yeah, the Arrows just being out-efforted on the glass at the moment.
Long 3, Ediger way off the mark. That was way behind the arc. I think that was Roman Willie who grabbed the rebound. And so a 7-0 run right now for the Quakers. They're up 7. They're going to hold it.
Yeah, just not a wise shot there by Pax, kind of forcing there on the offensive side. A deep 3-pointer, you didn't need that. Run through your offense, get a better look.
Roman Willie guarded by Lacey, and got a foul. That's going to go against Lacey. I think that was going to meet Jason Hess's approval. That's going to give 2 free throws to Roman Willie. Representative Melanie Miller coming up at halftime with Aiden. We hope you'll stay tuned for that report. 20 seconds left here in the second quarter. One more coming for Isaac Roman Willie, 6'2", a senior. Averaging 5 a game for this 11-win New Philadelphia team. Very worthy opponent. That's his first point as he splits the pair. Arrows have 18 seconds to work with, down 8 here on their home floor where they are 6-1.
Yeah, this is certainly the worst half you and I have watched together of Arrow basketball here. And Arrow Arena need a basket here offensively.
Baith has it, swatted away by Murphy. An emphatic block, 3.5 seconds to go, and it'll be a baseline left inbound. Garrett Davis to trigger the play, into Emmons, fade away, won't fall, and that's it. 26-18, New Philadelphia. They hold the lead here. They won the second quarter, 14-12, and they have an 8-point advantage. Stay tuned, our halftime show is coming up. Aiden's game day guest, District 67 Representative Melanie Miller. That's right around the corner here on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network.
Ashland isn't just where we work, it's our home. From glorious country to Main Street parades, we're proud to be part of what makes this town special. At Bill Harris Dealerships, being a key member of the community is one of our core values. But it's more than that. It's a responsibility. Because without Ashland, without you, we wouldn't be here. So stay golden, Ashland. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust. Done right, on time. With free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
Well, welcome back into Arrow Arena, where Ashland High School, the boys basketball team, trails New Philly after one half of play by a score of 26-18. Well, it's time for our game day guests. The team at Whitcomb and Hess have your needs covered. Plan, grow, thrive. Financial advisors and CPAs will help you grow your business and investments. And today, at halftime, we are joined by Melanie Miller, a woman who represents the 67th District of Ohio in the State House of Representatives. Melanie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's been a long time since I've been to a high school basketball game. There's a lot of energy here tonight, and it's definitely warm because it's very cold outside.
Yeah, it's perfect. Well, thanks for joining us. Melanie, my first memory of you was actually when you were singing with the Dixieland Band.
Yes, that's right.
At Trinity Lutheran Church for Mardi Gras back when I was a young kid. Can you give those tuning in just a quick summary of your journey from a performer to Miss Ohio in 2006 to the State House?
Wow, well, we'll try to do that very, very short. I have been so blessed. I've had a wonderful life. I grew up in the Cleveland area, went to Cleveland State University, and had the honor of being crowned Miss Ohio and representing Ohio across the great state for 1 year, serving in that role. But before I was Miss Ohio, I danced for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I feel like I'm right at home with all these dancers here tonight and how I got my start. And then I was introduced to Mayor Matt Miller. He wasn't mayor at the time, but I was a guest speaker at his church when I was Miss Ohio, shared my testimony of how I came to know Jesus as my Savior, and we were introduced afterwards, and we became very close quickly, and that's what brought me to Ashland, Ohio. So I moved from Cleveland to Ashland, married Matt, who was a county commissioner at the time, and I actually had my backgrounds in broadcast journalism. I went to Cleveland State for digital media and film production, so did some work in the Cleveland broadcast network for quite a while, hosted some shows. But then I really love working with people. So I started working full-time at our Salvation Army Croc Center, working with our youth. Love that, how I got involved with the Dixieland Band. Grew up playing flute and piccolo in our orchestra and in our band, and then wanted to learn how to sing and do the national anthem. So I got a vocal coach when I was in college, so I could also learn how to sing, and then a wonderful fit for the Dixieland Band. And then from there, started working at our local church in Worcester, where Matt and I met, and was the youth ministries director there. And then now am the director of our Ashland Pregnancy Care Center, where we're helping women and families to thrive and find alternatives to abortion. But then now here I am as a state representative, seeking my third term for office. And again, like I said, I have had such a blessed life, but I think at the core of it is I have such a heart and a love for serving others. And I think all these roles have given me that opportunity to do that and to grow. And in this role as state representative, you have to learn a lot about everything, because there's a lot of different issues that matter to a lot of people. And you can't necessarily be an expert in one area, but you can definitely build those relationships so you can know a little bit about everything and know how to have those connections and those relationships to be able to help people when they need some assistance.
Oh, that's awesome. What a journey, and like you said, very blessed life, and it sounds like your faith is at the center of it all, which is a super incredible thing. Now, you talked about your husband, Matt. He's been involved in politics for many years, from his time as a county commissioner to having an appointed position by former Ohio Governor John Kasich, and now his time as the mayor here in Ashland. Through marriage, I'm sure you've been involved in the political landscape a little bit, but you first sought office in 2022, won the election for state representative. Why politics for you?
I never, ever thought I would desire or be interested in running for public office. But, you know, I will tell you, I have always loved America, still love America. And even before I met Matt, at 16 years old, when I was first crowned, my very first pageant was Miss Brook Park, and I was an ambassador for my community. And in fact, being an ambassador, I traveled everywhere with our mayor. And so I got to meet and get to know very well our elected officials and helped them door knocking and fundraising, and then that certainly transitioned very naturally when I, of course, met Matt, and he was an elected official. And I love people. I love door knocking, love getting people together to find their gifts where they can find purpose and find a cause that they're passionate about. And so actually, to be honest with you, with the state representative position, there was a new map drawing, and our district became an open seat. And I really felt the Lord began stirring my heart for the position. To do really for an assignment, to stand firm for our conservative values and as a director of a pregnancy center, I've had multiple opportunities to go to Columbus and testify on different legislation that would protect the unborn and support mothers and families. And I think, you know, the Lord begins to plant those seeds. You don't always know the full big picture. Sometimes he just lights the path one step at a time, and we just have to be faithful as he begins to reveal what that next right step is, if you will, to be obedient and to trust him, because he knows what's best. And he ultimately, again, Jeremiah 29:11, God knows the plans that he has for us, not to harm us, but to prosper us, to give us a future and a hope. And it's an incredible journey when we are surrendered to the Lord. And quite honestly, if you delight yourself in the Lord, he will give you the desires of your heart, and your life will be so fulfilling.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Well, I had the honor of representing Ohio Northern University last year for Independent College Day at the State House, and you so kindly took me and some of the AU students that I jumped on board with around and took us out on the floor of the house. I'm just curious, how often are you down in Columbus? Are you down there all week?
That's right. We typically are there at least 2 days a week. Typically right now the house schedule, Tuesdays and Wednesdays we have committees, and Wednesdays is typically when we would have sessions. So usually it's at least 2 days a week. We are a full-time legislature, actually. So we usually are busy at least 9 months out of the year. And of course, depending on whoever the Speaker of the House is, determines the schedule. So we've actually had a very, very busy General Assembly this year with Speaker Matt Huffman. He's kept us pretty busy, and we've been very hands-on with the budget process, been very, very fast-paced. But it has been an incredible opportunity, and I absolutely love serving the people of the 67th House District. Just recently, as I mentioned earlier, just submitted my petitions for the third term of re-election, went door to door, and I loved it. I absolutely love it. Meeting with my constituents and hearing what's on their mind, it actually fuels me and fires me up to keep fighting for the people in this district. So it's really an honor when people have selected you to be their voice, to take that vote, because not everybody can be in those roles to take that vote. So it's truly something I do not take lightly. It's a big responsibility, and I try to do the best that I can to listen to what matters in the district. And sometimes, even last General Assembly, there was a few times where I was the only no vote on the floor because it mattered to my district to vote no on a particular bill. And at the end of the day, I'm here to represent the people of Ashland and Medina County.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Now, you talk about bills. You've introduced a few bills in the Ohio House. How do you feel those have been received?
Very well, very, very well. I would say my first General Assembly, 2 of my bills have become enacted into law now. One was a cosmetology bill, cosmetology and barber bill. We have a lot of red tape getting into the workforce in the state of Ohio, so we were able to make it easier for young men and women who want to pursue a career in cosmetology and barbering. And so it's been really exciting to even hear 16-year-olds that are wanting to go to the Career Center that can even start going to school, learning that trade right away. So at 18, they can start working in the field. So we've made it a lot easier. And then also another bill that is now enacted is called the Never Alone Act. So if you know a loved one who is in a congregate care setting, it could be a nursing home, a veterans home, hospital, etc. If you remember, during COVID, people were left alone to die alone. They could not have a loved one by their side. So this bill, the Never Alone Act, would allow any patient to have an advocate with them at any time. And I've had numerous people throughout Ohio contact me to let me know how they've been able to use that bill to stay with a parent maybe that needed to stay overnight when they were not feeling well. So those are some things that have been enacted. So many more. We are working through the process. In fact, the governor just signed another bill of mine here. At Christmas time, we're going to be doing in 2 weeks a ceremonial ribbon cutting for veteran women to honor the women of the 688. It was the all African American battalion that represented in World War II. They were the postal battalion. They were a group of ladies that during a time where America was really struggling during World War II, they were responsible to ensure that our men and women serving our country and civilians were getting mail, and that's how they were able to boost the morale during that time. So these women are now going to be recognized in Ohio, and we'll be able to celebrate the great work our our men and women that wear the uniform.
Wow, that's awesome. I took a class in college about the military and stuff, and women don't always get recognized as veterans as much as men do. So that's really awesome to hear that. I got one final question for you. You're obviously very accomplished in all that you've done in the State House. What are your goals and aspirations as far as your political career?
What I would say is I am totally available and willing to be used by the Lord however he wants to use me. So I do not have aspirations, if you will, but I am open to be used as his servant however he'd like to use me.
Oh, that's awesome. That's Whitcomb and Hess game day guest, State Representative Melanie Miller. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your experiences, and we're so grateful to have you represent this wonderful community. So thanks for joining us.
All right, Representative, thank you. Hayden, great job on the interview, and we get underway here in the third quarter. An immediate 3 by New Philadelphia. They're up 29-18. Wells working in the front court. Bounces it down low to Mushrush. And he puts it up and in. Aiden Mushrush now with a dozen points. It's 31-18. New Philadelphia, 5 quick points out of the halftime break. Ediger forces the action, throws it up and in on the run. He was lobbying for the foul, but he has 11. 31-20. The Arrows needed that one desperately. Over to Roman Willie, and he just goes straight to the rim, lays it up and in. That's his first field goal. He has 3 in the game. Ediger lost the ball and left his feet. Got it to Emmons, who hit a 3. Jackpot for Emmons. He has 6 points. That one did not start out well for the Arrows when Ediger left his feet with nowhere to throw it, but fortunately found Emmons, and now a turnover, a steal for Bates. Great pass up court. Ediger scores. Ediger with 13 points. Now the Arrows are on a run. 33-25, charging foul. Bates draws the foul off of Harriman. That is turnover number 5 against New Philly. The Arrows get it back. 5:45 to go. Third quarter, a lot of action going right off the get-go here in our third quarter, which is brought to you by Comfort Control. Away from the ball, a whistle and a foul against the Arrows, and they turn it right back over.
Yeah, I definitely missed some stats there. Spent some time chatting with Representative Miller after our interview there, so you'll have to help me with the stats here at the end of the game, but definitely a flurry of points here to start half number 2.
That was a great interview. We appreciate the representative for stopping by and just sharing a lot of great information. That's Wells. Mushrush posting up. He wants to take it in to a crowd, and they're going to call him on a push-off. That'll be his second foul. Ediger is up to 13 in the game now. Hayden. Emmons hit a 3. He's up to 6. Here's Ediger trying to shake Wells. Emmons back into front court. 33-25. Bates off the mark. Martini on the run out.
Need number 3 to get active offensively for Ashland if they want to come back and win this game.
He is without a field goal. 2 points, both from the line. Long shot by Wells. He knocks it in. Wow. That was near the New Philly bench.
Confident shot there.
It's just his 6th point, both on 3-pointers. 36-25. Ediger fouled. I believe they'll get Roman Willie on the foul. Pretty good defense there, but he picks up foul number 2. That's their 3rd. Ediger at the line. The Arrows with ground to make up here, down by 11. 14 for Pax at the Connery Manufacturing free throw line here. He has one more.
These are also important when the clock stopped. Arrows down by double figures. Need a flurry of points. We've seen them do it before against Lexington and Mansfield Senior here on the home floor. Gonna have to lock down defensively.
You've just kind of come to expect it. Aiden,
Yeah.
they've made it look easy on some of these comebacks, but you never want to dig a big hole and expect a second half comeback.
I remember talking to Coach Hess after the Lexington game, I believe. He said it's fun for the fans, but it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
So they got to do a good job here at cutting into this lead early to save themselves some work later in the game.
Arrows really forcing the action defensively, pushing the Quakers out near half court. Reed Wells keeping the dribble alive. Mismatch now. Emmons on him. Lincoln Murphy back out to Wells. Under 4 to go, third quarter.
Emmons doing a good job there, moving his feet. Has to be smart with 2 fouls. Don't want to pick up a third.
Martini off the mark. Ediger grabs the rebound. He'll take it all the way in. Spins, gives it up to Emmons. Bingo!
You know what? That 3-point attempt by Martini on the other end, they waited a long time to get a shot in that possession, and with a hand in the face, I'm not sure that was the best one. You could see Coach Ross was a little frustrated with the take. The Arrows able to cut it to 6.
Emmons now with 9, a BB&C Car Care 3. Martini in a crowd, and he gets held up. That was a dangerous pass. They got Bates. It's his second. Sid Sudd's substitution here as Harriman comes in, and I believe that's Martini that left. Man goes down, another goes flying. Whistle and a foul. Emmons picks up number 3.
It's 3, yeah, and that was on a play where the ball is dead. That's never a wise foul there by number 4. Gotta be smarter.
Mushrush. 14 for Aiden Mushrush. 38-30. Davis somehow kept the possession. Ediger, fade away, short. Bates almost had it, but it goes off of his hands and out of bounds.
Coach Hess frustrated with the call there.
.230. Boys tonight. We'll have the second half of our doubleheader tomorrow afternoon. Lincoln Murphy, no. Bates. Ahead to Ediger, forces it up. Got called for traveling.
We'll see it again here.
A little awkward here. He had 2 defenders in front of him. Jason Hess did not agree with it. Turnover number 8.
And again, I talked to Coach Hess before the game. Coach, remember, you'd never picked up a technical before. This is probably the highest stakes game he's ever coached in.
Arrows up on Dover by a half game in the standings. First place in the OCC. Mushrush to Harriman. Ediger forces him to the corner. Somehow got rid of it to Miller, and now Murphy. And a nice move all the way to the glass. Lincoln Murphy, 8 points.
And they ran about 30 seconds off the clock there, so they're going to do their best effort to take the air out of the basketball on offense.
40-30. They're being physical with Ediger. Bates for 3. In and out. Mushrush, another board. He's really controlling things defensively and offensively. 10-point lead for the Quakers.
Got to follow your shot there. Gabe was not boxed out, had a chance to potentially pull in an offensive rebound, but just watched it.
Nice look by Harriman. He finds Quinn Miller. 8 points for him. 42-30. That's the largest lead for New Philly. And Ediger again. He is being aggressive, forcing the issue. Took the contact. It'll be Wells That's his third.
Take it at him when you're on offense. Make him pick up that fourth foul, because if he's out of the game, he's such a good ball handler, such a good point guard.
Pax getting his points here. He has 16, but not a lot of help from the supporting cast.
Yeah, Reed Emmons with 9, and then really nothing much doing from the rest of the offense. Gabe Bates going to have to step up here.
17. As he hits both from the Connery Manufacturing free throw line. Less than a minute to go in the third quarter. It's getting late early tonight. Wells to Miller. No look pass, thrown away. Steal for Ediger, to the rim, blocked, but a foul. New Philly fans will object to that. They thought it was a clean block. We'll judge for ourselves here on the Sarver Paving replay.
That's 3 on Aiden Mushrush now, so their 2 best players tonight, or their 2 best players for the season, both with 2 fouls, or 3 fouls, excuse me.
Ediger with 18 as he hits 42-33. Lots of subs now. Bates out. I believe it was Jenkins who came in. So Kingston Jenkins makes an appearance for the Arrows. 19 for Ediger. Still right in the ball game, down 8.
That is
But
weak.
a foul in the backcourt against Davis. This game is being called very tightly.
Yeah, Garrett Davis is, I said this on the broadcast the other night at the senior high game, Garrett Davis is the best on-ball defender in the conference. We've seen him all here at home now. He does a phenomenal job of moving his feet, very minimal contact. Not sure it was worthy of a foul call, but like you said, they are calling it very tight, and they're calling it very tight both ways tonight.
Well, and coaches for generations have said, do not get beat sideline. And it's when you get beat on the sideline, you try to catch up. That's when you bump somebody and you get the call in the backcourt. 42-34. Dangerous handoff. Might have been a double dribble, maybe not. Wells almost over and back. He's looking at a double team. Got it to Harriman. I'm surprised Zach Ross did not call a timeout there to save the possession. It's a turnover, and Ediger could not get the shot away. Thought there might have been a foul late. No call on the contact. That's the end of the third quarter. New Philadelphia 42, Ashland 34 through 3. The all-important fourth quarter is coming right up. We're back in a flash on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
(42-34), 8 minutes on the clock. Crucial game for Ashland, trying to stay a little bit ahead of Dover.
It's the biggest quarter of the season for the Arrow boys basketball team.
Foul against Jenkins, not a good way to start. Arrows have just not been able to adjust to the officiating. A lot of fouls. Quinn Miller got by Jenkins and takes it right to the hole. What a move.
Way too easy of a look. Kingston's got to be more aggressive defensively than that.
47-34. The third quarter was even Stevens, 16 apiece. There's Ediger, nice movement, missed the bunny. Rebound to Wells. T.R. Harriman. Now to Reed Wells. He has 6 points. Arrows have done a nice job. He's also been in foul trouble.
Does such a good job, though, handling the
basketball. Sure does. I was thinking the same thing, Aiden.
Arrows are going to have to speed up New Philly somehow.
Miller, wide open three. Bingo. Whoa. He has 5 points in the fourth, 13 in the game, and now a foul up court. 47-34. What a start here in the fourth. They got Murphy on that foul. His second, team foul number 1. 6:55 to go, and the Arrows are going to have to dial up some points quickly. Nice pass underneath Davis from Ediger, stripped away and out of bounds. Basketball Booster Club would like to thank Home Depot for their support in keeping the team hydrated this year. Baith lost it off the dribble. It goes right to Davis. Emmons a long three, short. Rebound corralled by Harriman. And then he is fouled. They got Ediger on the foul. They want to thank Linway for feeding the team a delicious breakfast after their practice last Saturday. Applebee's, Rockin' Our Meats, all great supporters of the basketball boosters, as well as Barter & Sons Underground Utility and Excavating, and Anytime Store and Lock for being season sponsors. Foul on the sideline, or was it a timeout? I think Zach Ross uses a timeout. Fourth quarter brought to you by Comfort Control. And our timeouts sponsored as always by Connery Manufacturing. 47-34 New Philly. We'll be right back here tomorrow, Aiden, for girls varsity basketball. Ashland against West Holmes. Arrows wrapped up the OCC title with a win on Wednesday against Madison. They are riding high on a 5-game winning streak and only 1 loss on the year.
Yeah, no conference losses. It's pretty remarkable what the ladies have done, defending or getting some revenge on New Philly, who handed them their only conference loss a season ago. They're perfect through conference play, beat New Philly twice. We'll get a chance to see them at Senior Day tomorrow. We'll have all of the Senior Day festivities live here on the Ashland Arrow Broadcasting Network on YouTube. So tune into that before the game to as the Arrows recognize the senior class of 2026.
Back underway. That's Harriman. Mush Rush comes way out in front court. They have no problem here taking some air out of the ball. They'll call a foul. Third foul on Ediger. You know, I think right there you have different viewpoints. An official would say, look, if I see a foul, I have to call the foul. But right there, even if there was some contact, it did not impede or affect the play or the flow of the game at all. I think right there you can be a little choosy. Now there you have Ediger.
He genuinely just slipped. Harriman just slipped on the floor, and Ediger got called for a foul. It's just been one of those nights here in Arrow Arena. Paxton Ediger with 4. Unfortunately, I do not like the Arrows' odds if 24 gets to 5.
Harriman. Bounce pass down low. Wells gets hammered. No, they say it's a charge. Give Bates the charge drawn accolades. So that's 4 on Wells. The 2 leading scorers are on the precipice of disqualification.
Coach Hess talking to the official on the near side here about that call on Paxton Ediger.
Ediger will launch a 3. Too strong. Tipped out to Baith. He'll fire from long distance. No. Offensive rebound. Bates. Ediger. Trapped. Davis has been quiet tonight, just 2 points. Count the bucket for Ediger. They give him the continuation. We're going to see it again. Harriman gets the foul.
Well, from the minute the foul was called, Paxton Ediger didn't take another dribble or another step. He just strided out. It's definitely good for 2 in the NBA. I don't know about high school, but we'll certainly take it. Certainly take it. The new Philly fans not happy.
And one opportunity is brought to you by the Norma Foundation, rewarding big plays on the court and big ideas off it. 22 for Pax. And right at the other end of the defensive breakdown, Aiden Mushrush scores on the transition bucket. He has Sweet 16.
Yeah, way too easy of a look there.
Ediger, the fadeaway, no. Rebound to Wells. 49-37. Ashland still in striking distance, but they have to force some turnovers here.
Going to have to do something differently here on the defensive end because New Philly has no sense of urgency in terms of scoring.
They just weave through traffic with these 2 great ball handlers, Wells and Harriman. 4:29 to go. Well, Harriman somehow lost it. It ends up bouncing off him and out of bounds. I can't believe it.
Costly turnover there. Arrows have a look to cut it within single digits. It's going to take a 3-pointer, and this guy with the basketball has to step up here down the stretch offensively.
Emmons got bumped. Quinn Miller guilty of the foul. That should be team foul number 4. It is. Both teams at 4. Non-shooting foul, but with the next, each team will be in a double bonus. Underneath, they get it to Bates. He misses the bunny. Mushrush grabs the rebound, and the Arrows leave 2 on the table right there.
Costly miss. Costly miss. The Arrows are going to have to start to think about fouling here and sending the 67% free throw shooting team to the line.
Harriman works around the perimeter. Wells. He'll throw it back out. Almost a backcourt violation, and Ross will use a timeout. Well, to go back, just finish a thought I was making earlier about the officiating. And I think this crew has done a good job in the game. It has been consistent both ways. But my point earlier, Aiden, is that I think the best officials exercise some discernment. It's the old adage, especially in football, you could call holding on every play. In basketball, there's a lot of contact. You could call a foul on every play and be within the rules of officiating. At some point, you have to have some judgment on what is best for the game, what's best for the team. Did it make a difference? I think you can make those judgments as the game unfolds just for better flow, for better enjoyment of the players and the fans.
For sure.
Now, some would disagree with me, but I just think sometimes those little fouls that you can obviously see did not make a difference in the play. All it does is stop the game, puts more fouls on the board, and inhibits the game.
Just let the players play. That's my motto. I said that on Tuesday night at the senior high Ashland game. It's best when the best team on the floor can prove they're the best team, and you don't have to worry about the amount of times a whistle is blown.
Mushrush gets loose. They find him. He lays it in. Well done by New Philly, and it's 51-37. There's a turnover.
It's one of those nights.
Mushrush saves it in bounds, but ends up throwing it back to Ediger. It is 51-37. I think Ediger got fouled, so that's 2 coming up. It stops the clock with 3:08. That's going to be Miller's second. Ediger goes to the line with 22. That one's good.
Pretty remarkable what Paxton Ediger has done offensively this season, obviously breaking the 1,000-point mark, 4th all-time in career points here at Ashland High School now. But the thing that's the most impressive, I think, is in 2 games against Senior High, a team that's much more athletic than Ashland, he combined for 82
Incredible.
points.
44 and 38 in the 2 games. Almost a steal. It's kept alive by Lincoln Murphy. New Philly has come in here. They've played a terrific game. And they have led from the get-go, save one juncture when the Arrows were able to tie it. 51-39. 12-point game with 2:35 to go.
Yeah.
Foul out front here. That's going to go against Gabe.
Looks like they actually called that one on Reed. So that's Reed's 4th. Big 3-point threat for the Arrows now. And in jeopardy of fouling out. And there's just something about New Philly. They match up really well with us for some reason. So they're trying to hand the Arrows their 3rd OCC loss, and it certainly make things interesting in the OCC race if Dover loses another game.
Wells hits both. He has 8. I don't know if we have any score on that Madison-Dover game. That game was being played at Madison.
Probably not. The service in there is not very good.
Ediger leans in, looks for contact, got it. He'll go back to the line. Connery Manufacturing free throws. I think they got Harriman. That's his 4th. So you've got Wells with 4, Harriman with 4, Mushrush with 3, a number of players with 2 for New Philly. And Pax now has 25 points, 53-40. And he just calmly knocks both of them in. Lacey comes in as well as Brady Booth. Sid Sud's substitution, and Ediger leaves. Emmons is out. Mushrush coming back in. 53-41.
The only score I got here is Lexington leads West Holmes 50-31. That game's in the 4th quarter. Really no conference implications in that one.
Reed Wells up top. Arrows trying to foul. No whistle, and they throw it away. Arrows will take it. That's the 10th turnover, and Pax and Reed back in. Offense for defense.
Coach Hess was trying to get Brady Booth to foul there, and he gets his hands on the defender. A foul they've been calling all night. They don't call it, and New Philly throws it out of bounds.
Incredible. Let's see what Ediger can create here. Emmons for 3, short. The rebound to Roman Willie. Arrows have just not been able to sink the key threes. Foul goes against Bates to stop the clock with 1:46. So that game tomorrow is 1:30. We'll be on the air early, as Aiden mentioned, with the Senior Day ceremony, which will take place after the JV game. So tune in early. We'll have it for you. Then we'll get the Simons and Construction countdown to tip-off going. Roman Willie with 4.
Something about our worst offensive performances here for the Arrows coming against New Philadelphia. 14 threes against Senior High on Tuesday night. Only 4 3-pointers knocked down this evening. 3 of them coming off the right hand of Reed Emmons and 1 from Paxton Ediger.
You know, you called it earlier. 55-41. The Arrows bring it forward. Bates throws it away. It's stolen by Lincoln Murphy. He goes down. They called a foul on Ediger, and that'll be it for him, but I really thought it was more just a slip and fall. And they called a foul. That's it for Pax. He's out with 26 points. It's 55-41, but you called it where this is not an unusual occurrence. When you have a game that went 3 overtimes and you expelled so much emotional and physical capital in that game, even though it was Tuesday. But it's tough to come back and keep the same level going.
Well, yeah, less than 72 hours ago, we were still playing over at Cedar
incredible.
High.
9 for Murphy. Baith for 3. Count it. Timeout, Jason Hess. So Baith finally knocks down his first field goal. 56-44 after the BB&C Car Care 3. And when I say Baith finally hits his first field goal, that's not a pejorative. This guy has been on absolute fire his last 3 to 4 ball games, just knocking down absolutely unconscious shots. 31 against Mansfield. It was 12 of 21 from the floor with 7 threes. So if anybody's entitled to an off night, it's Gabe Baith.
Yeah, and I wonder if he's starting to think about how close he's getting to 1,000, because that's definitely something that messes with your head, especially when it's such a career milestone. Doesn't happen often in the high school game, especially when you have another guy on your team that does it. So I wonder if that's starting to creep into the mind of Gabe Baith, but they need him here down the stretch with 1:26 left to go, down 12.
They need some steals. Full court pressure. The Quakers run their play. Harriman to Miller. He's fouled by Bates. No question that time. Ty Bates with 4.
Arrow fouls on number 11, Ty Bates. His 4th personal.
Tons of fouls in the game.
At the line shooting for the Quakers.
Quinn Miller.
Quinn Miller.
Too many.
13 for him. And make it 14 for the senior. 57-44. Tell you what, New Philly, going to be an interesting matchup in the tournament. Shots good by Miller. He hits both from the Connery Manufacturing free throw line. 58-44. Turnover Arrows. It's all academic now. 1:16 to go. 14-point lead for the Quakers. You look at all levels of basketball, the best teams seem to have somebody on their schedule that just has their number.
Yeah, that's definitely the case with this new Philadelphia team, and they're offensively performing really well tonight, averaging 53 points coming into this game. They're at 58. They're going to go up probably over 60 with the fouls down the stretch here.
Baith fouls. Sid Suds coming up after the first free throw by Miller. I believe we'll have Briggs, Cierto, and Jenkins all checking in. Ediger fouled out. Our Janney postgame show is coming up. Jason Hess will join us for some postgame thoughts. 59-44. Rieger comes back in for New Philly. So Zach Ross and company, they did a great job planning for this game and coming in on the road after a loss against Worcester, which they did not play well. Arrows with the turnover. Nope, it's picked up and shot by Booth. It won't go in. Rieger down with the rebound. 45 seconds left.
I think the Arrows will just let New Philly run the clock out. I think Coach Ross is going to go to his bench, let some of his JV guys get in here.
Austin Pringle, Isaac Wagner will check in. I thank all of the folks from New Philly who might have tuned in this evening. Appreciate their athletic staff for promoting the link. Thanks to Brandon Gunder on a job well done at the controls. Conference race still very much in the Arrows' grasp. The loss tonight will at least tie them with Dover. And if Dover wins, they could move a half game in front of the Arrows. There's an odd number of games now played with the Dover postponement earlier in the week. By the way, I don't know about you. I'm ready for spring. I've had it.
Yeah, this winter storm we got this week. Not very fun, but you know what? I got 2 days of school off in college, which doesn't happen very often.
Speaking of your college, your men's team with a big win against Mount Union that you called.
Yeah, took down the number 4 team in the country on Saturday in Mount Union. So big win for the Polar Bears, and they just defeated Heidelberg on Wednesday night.
Wagner with 17 to go. I'll tell you, the Arrows have played so well here at home. This will only be their second loss. You got a couple of pretty good OCC teams here. New Philly's going to get the better of the Arrows for the second time. That's it. New Philadelphia comes to Arrow Arena, and they walk away with a 60-44 victory. The Arrows drop to 10-7 on the year. New Philly improves to 12-5. More importantly, Ashland is now 9-3 in the league. New Philly 7-4. Crowd dispersing. We're preparing for the Janney postgame show, and that's coming your way in just a moment. You're watching the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
Ashland isn't just where we work, it's our home. From glorious country to Main Street parades, we're proud to be part of what makes this town special. At Bill Harris Dealerships, being a key member of the community is one of our core values. But it's more than that. It's a responsibility. Because without Ashland, without you, we wouldn't be here. So stay golden, Ashland. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust.
Need a construction team that can do it all? Bo Lacey Construction delivers experience you can trust, done right on time, with free estimates and special financing offered for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, bathrooms, decks, to the highest standards of excellence, quality, and knowledge in the industry. Bring your next project to life with Bo Lacey Construction.
The team at Whitcomb & Hess have all of your needs covered. Plan, grow, thrive. Financial advisors and CPAs will help you grow your business and investments.
Welcome back to the Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving. We are back here at Arrow Arena at Ashland High School. David Wilson along with Aiden Chandler. This is the Arrows postgame show, brought to you by Janney in Mansfield. Financial advice from experienced people you can trust. Check out Rich Story at Janney.com for all of your financial needs. 60-44. New Philadelphia. They come back after losing on Tuesday at Worcester. They got down 21-5 in that game and turned the tables tonight on the Arrows and got up and really never looked back. And they win it going away by 14. Time for the postgame stat recap. It's brought to you by your hometown law leader, the law offices of Andrew Bush, located right here in Ashland, Ohio. 12-6 New Philly after one. They won the second quarter 14-12 and had an 8-point lead at halftime, 26-18. They got off to a good start in the third quarter, but the teams played even in the third quarter, 16-16. and it was 42-34 New Philly going into the fourth quarter. So game was still very much in reach at the start of the fourth, but New Philly found a way to get it done. Ashland got behind the 8 ball, had to do some fouling, and New Philly won the quarter 18-10, and the game 60-44. So that is the quarter scoring. As far as the individuals go, Ashland's Jason Hess played 10 players, 5 scored, only 1 in double figures. That is usually going to spell trouble with only 1 player in double figures. Gunnar Lacey started, had 1 rebound, no points. Kingston Jenkins played, did not score. Gabe Baith, tough night, 5 points. I had him for 5 rebounds, 2 free throws, and 1 3-point field goal. So they did a nice job stopping Baith and held him to 5. He's now at 952 in his career. Reed Emmons, 3 3-pointers, 9 points, and 4 boards. Garrett Davis, noticeably absent tonight. No field goals, 2 free throws, 4 rebounds after a 15-point outburst against Mansfield Senior. Davis could not get it going tonight either, and a lot of this goes to the New Philly defense. Ty Bates off the bench, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and then the rest went to Ediger. 26 points in the ball game, fought for every one. 1 rebound tonight for Ediger. He was the only player in double figures. 26 on the night for Ediger, 3 above his season average. Ashland had 10 turnovers. For New Philly, 10 players played, 6 scored, 2 in double digits. The leading scorers, Aiden Mushrush, 18 points. I had him for 7, make it 8 boards. So a nice game for Aiden Mushrush, the 6'6 senior. He really impacted the game. I'll be interested to hear Jason Hess's thoughts on Aiden Mushrush. Quinn Miller, good off the bench, 17 points in the ball game. He had 11 in the second half, number 24. Did a nice job handling the basketball, well above his season average of 6. So those were the 2 double-figure scores. Lincoln Murphy had 9, Jackson Martini 3, Reed Wells, their leading scorer, 8, and Isaac Roman Willie finished with 5 for New Philadelphia. So I had 10 turnovers for New Philly as well. Those are unofficial totals, but turnovers ended up pretty even. A lot of fouls. Pax Ediger fouled out. I don't think anyone from New Philly fouled out. Harriman and Wells ended up with 4 fouls apiece. But it was tightly called. A lot of free throws. Sort of a disjointed game in some fashion. But it goes to New Philly by a final score of 60-44. We'll have Jason Hess momentarily. Our players of the game this year brought to you by Truax Printing, your full-service commercial printing source in Ashland and Loudonville, truaxprinting.com. Got several things to go through a little bit later on, Aiden, but I know you've got some numbers that you've been figuring, and take a look at those right now while we wait on the coach.
Yeah, really didn't hash out too much, just the dominant performance from Aiden Mushrush with a lot of points and 7 rebounds. He really made a big impact, and I talked about that, and the keys to the game was New Philadelphia dominating in the paint, and Mushrush definitely did that. Dominated down low and was able to kind of score at ease, and New Philly did a really good job of moving the ball to make that a possibility for him to get those open looks down low. Another big thing that stands out is Paxton Ediger, 13 for 13 from the free throw line tonight. That is 25 straight free throws, and I know that's now on the all-time list. Remember Grayson Sturry made, I think, 23 consecutive or something like that, or 26 consecutive in his time here in an Arrow uniform. So I know for sure that Paxton Ediger is ascending up the all-time list in the state for consecutive free throws. But It's kind of a moral victory, and I don't like to pull moral victories from games like this. So this was just simply a game where the Arrows were outplayed, and we'll certainly talk about that here after we get a chance to speak with Coach Hess. And he's working his way up here, and we'll hash out his thoughts and see what he thinks about his team's performance. But
while we get Jason set up here, we'll go with the turning point of the game, built by Bo Lacey Construction. Experience you can trust, done right on time. Arrows had tied the game at 18-18. New Philly closed out the half on an 8-0 run to take a 26-18 lead at the half. They came out and scored 5 quick points to start the third quarter. Now that swing there, our turning point of the game, brought to you by Bo Lacey Construction. New Philly wins it 60-44. Happy to be joined by Jason Hess for some post-game thoughts here. Aiden, take it away.
thank you, David. Coach Hess, obviously you guys got off to a slow start, 6 points there in the first quarter. How much of tonight's start do you attribute to the emotions of Tuesday's win at Senior High?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say because I thought we actually were playing decent basketball in that first quarter. We had some really good looks at the rim, a couple threes that rimmed in and out. And, defensively, I thought we were pretty solid in the first quarter. So it's just one of those things that the ball didn't go in the basket. And I think I told you beforehand, you asked me what the keys were. I said, well, this sounds stupid. It makes me sound like an idiot. But it really boils down to whether we make shots or not. And, unfortunately tonight, we did not shoot the ball well at all. And I think we had, some forced shots later on in the game. We started getting tight a little bit when we were playing from behind, trying to play catch up. But early on, I thought we really moved the basketball well. We had some good looks, inside-out threes by some of our better shooters, and they just didn't go in. So, whether it's a little bit of a hangover emotionally and just a long week and a difficult week with school cancellations and a lot of outside distractions and everything going on, and a big win over at Mansfield on Tuesday. Anyway, we didn't make the buckets we needed to make and fell behind early, and then it was hard to play catch-up after that.
Well, the good news is you guys are off tomorrow, right?
That is right.
So a chance to rest the legs. You guys are back in action on Tuesday at Clear Fork, a very winnable game, an old conference opponent. You're familiar with that team. But for the middle two quarters, you guys were right in the game. 30-28, the score. New Philly won those middle two quarters, but right in it, and you lost that first quarter by 6. So an 8-point game heading into the fourth quarter, but it's hard to get in a rhythm, I believe, when there's so many foul calls in a game. And I hate to do this. I hate to harp on officials. They were pretty fair in terms of foul calls both ways, but just speak to how difficult it is to get in a rhythm offensively when there's so many stoppages.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, I said at halftime, I think in the first half there was only about 3 times where we ran up and down the floor without somebody blowing a whistle. And, for a team that plays the style that we play, I felt like that really favors New Philly to be able to have the stops and starts because of how deliberate and how more methodical they are playing versus the way we play that's a little more free-flowing and, let the ball fly a little bit. So, like you said, they called them both ways, but unfortunately they were calling them both ways, so they were just calling them a lot. And it kind of disrupted. There wasn't a lot of flow to the basketball game tonight.
Aiden Mushrush, 18.7 rebounds. He was a force to be reckoned with tonight.
Yeah, he's very good at finishing around the basket. And, I thought coming into this year, I had New Philadelphia as kind of the penciled-in favorite to win the league because of their size and their guard play and just the way that they execute and run their stuff. But, he finishes well around the basket. And, give him a lot of credit for being able to have soft touch and make shots around the basket. And, that's something that's not a good matchup for us. And as we've seen in our 2 games with them this year, that's just not a team that we match up well with. We match up better with the senior highs and the Sandusky's and the teams that want to get out and run up and down a little bit.
Yeah, second time against New Philly without Killian, and hate to talk about this, but injuries are part of the game. How much is Killian's presence missed on the floor?
Oh, I mean, he was a huge lift when he came back and started playing with us there after Game 3, and just the extra depth on the bench and giving us a little more athleticism and the versatility on defense to be able to guard multiple positions and as well as rebounding. And I thought that was another area we got hurt on tonight was offensive rebounding, and Killian was one of our better rebounders when he was healthy. So we're definitely missing his presence and just his overall athleticism.
Well, turning the page, 9-3 in the conference still very much so a chance to win the conference. You got Dover playing Mansfield Senior again here on February 6th. What's the biggest takeaway for the Arrows moving forward here?
Well, I told the guys afterwards, we had a huge one Tuesday night, and this one, it didn't go our way. It was just one of those nights it seemed like everything we did was just difficult. We didn't make shots. Loose balls bounced our ways. They were in our hands. The next thing I know, it bounced out of our hands to somebody for the other team shooting a layup. So, one of those things that, like you said, a couple calls here and there, we get a run going, and all of a sudden we got 2 fouls, and we're slowing the game down again, and we're changing things. So it was just one of those nights. It wasn't our night, and the sun's going to come up tomorrow. We may not feel it because it's going to be colder and all get out, but at least the sun will be up, and we're going to be back in it. We're going to practice. We're going to, just refocus a little bit and continue to take it one game at a time.
Yeah. Hey, farming season may be right around the corner here. Hopefully, we got to get this snow out of here. But Coach Hess, thanks for joining us. Obviously, a tough loss tonight, but still a lot to play for. Still very much so a threat in the conference. So good luck to you guys the rest of the way. A 60-44 loss for the Arrows tonight. Back to you, David.
All right, guys. Coach, thank you very much.
Yep. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
We'll see Jason again on Tuesday night. We'll have that game against Clear Fork on Tuesday. The Colts 4-12 on the year. I don't believe they play until Tuesday. So that will be the next opponent for the Arrows.
A much needed rest, obviously, like Coach Hess alluded to there in that interview. This was a big week. A couple days of school canceled. A cold night. Big win on Tuesday night against Senior High. So much needed rest for them to have the day off tomorrow and then have a chance to take on a Clear Fork team that they'll be heavy favorites in that game.
Big shot of the game tonight, Aiden, for the Arrows. I think I'm going to go with the Reed Emmons 3, his third of the game. I believe at that time it made it 36-30. That'll be our big shot of the game, brought to you by Big Land Home Improvement and Property Maintenance, located right here in Ashland. Check them out for all of your home improvement and property management needs. How about a play of the game tonight, Aiden? Anything stand out?
I would give them both to Ty Bates for the 2 charges he took in this game. I think it says a lot of a player to be able to put their body on the line and just stand there in the paint and take the blow of the offensive player coming into the lane. And Ty Bates did that 2 times tonight, forced 2 turnovers, was able to get the ball back into the hands of the Arrows. Unfortunately, the Arrows just weren't able to do much on the offensive end, didn't shoot it very well tonight. But those were I guess you could say, the plays of the game built by Bo Lacey Construction.
All right, experience you can trust, done right, on time. And so this one is history, and you move on. That's how it works in high school basketball. Very few teams go undefeated. And so we will see what the future holds in store, see what some of those Dover results are, and see where it all shakes out as we head down the home stretch. We're not too awfully far from the tournament draw, and so it's going to get very exciting here down the stretch as this Arrows team continues to work its way toward the state tournament. And, win or loss, it's still a very entertaining team. The real concern, I think, is the loss of O'Brien and just kind of how thin it becomes after the starters.
Well, yeah, and if you have, Gabe Baith, we've talked about it. Gabe Baith has been so crucial to the success of this Arrows offense, and he's played really well. And you know what? You're going to have an off night. You're going to have a night where you go out there and lay a goose egg. So I know he's probably a little frustrated with his performance, but nonetheless, you got to expect that. You need someone else to step up. And without the presence of Killian O'Brien, Coach Hess is searching for that body off the bench to step up, whether it's Ty Bates putting in a layup or 2, whether it's Gunnar Lacey getting an offensive rebound and putting it back up for 2. Somebody has to be a presence for Coach Hess outside of Gabe Baith, Reed Emmons, and Paxton Ettinger, there. And Garrett Davis also had a rough night offensively with 2 points. So it was just one of those nights. And you know it's going to happen when you're a team that relies so heavily on that 3 ball and you only knock down 5 3-pointers. It's going to be like that sometimes for you in a game. Unfortunately, it was a really big conference game and at a pivotal point of the season. But nonetheless, you got to turn the page and move on to the next one. And you still got a lot to play for. You still got a conference championship. You still got a tournament run coming up. You're just looking for that next person to step up off the bench. Maybe it's a JV guy. Maybe it's a Kingston Jenkins or a Brady Booth who's going to get some more minutes and hit some shots for the Arrows. But someone has to step up for this team if they want a chance to win the conference and they want a chance to make a little bit of a run in the postseason.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow afternoon, partner. Girls varsity action against West Holmes.
Yep. Well, it'll be a fun time to celebrate both the senior class as well as the back-to-back OCC champions returning here to celebrate their conference their conference championship in Arrow Arena.
See it right there on your screen. 1:30 is the approximate start time. We'll have all the senior day festivities and the tip-off of the game right around 1:30 here on our YouTube presentation of Ashland Arrows basketball. That'll wrap up our coverage for tonight. Thanks to Brandon Gunder at the controls. For Aiden Chandler, it's David Wilson now saying goodbye from Arrow Arena and Ashland High School in the great city of Ashland, Ohio. We thank you for your viewership and your loyalty to the Arrows. We'll look forward to visiting with you with more play-by-play tomorrow. Again, the final score in tonight's boys varsity matchup, it was New Philadelphia 60 and Ashland 44. This has been a presentation of Ashland Arrows Athletics on the Ashland Arrows Broadcasting Network, presented by Sarver Paving.